York has been the home of many great historic days, but today we're here to celebrate another one. New York today enables a new economy that's led by a movement of entrepreneurs who are using the power of business to solve some of society's greatest challenges. There are 13 companies incorporating as benefit corps today on the first day that the law becomes effective in New York. And so while New York is the 7th state to pass benefit corp legislation, that's the most companies that have ever adopted the legislation on the first day of any of the states that have. It's a testament to the leadership of the legislators who are in the room. For 2 years, we've been working on getting benefit corp legislation passed in New York, and Speaker Silver and Senator Squadron worked tirelessly to get it through the legislature. And I might add that while this legislation's been passed in a bipartisan way across the country, due to their leadership, this legislation passed unanimously through both houses of the New York legislature. I think that's phenomenal leadership by both of them, and this community of businesses is incredibly appreciative of your leadership. I want you to have a chance to hear from a couple of the entrepreneurs because they're really the inspiration here and the heroes. But I do want to just thank a couple of people quickly for all of their leadership in helping to get this legislation passed over the last couple of years. There is a business organization that acts as an umbrella and leads many other business organizations across the country that are interested in using social and environmental, that are interested in solving social and environmental problems. It's called the American Sustainable Business Council, the ASBC. They've been our partner in driving this legislation forward across the country, and we're particularly important in making it happen here in New York. And David Levine, who founded and runs that organization, is with us today. Care2 is an online community that helped drive citizen participation and advocacy for this legislation, and we're really appreciative of their help. And then there are a whole number of business organizations across the state that went to bat, called their legislators in the old-fashioned way that you advocate for legislation, and that helped to get this across the finish line. And then scores of individual businesses who cared about this issue, whether they were going to become benefit corporations or not. There are businesses across the state that want the opportunity here in New York to do business as if people and place matter. And those businesses worked hard to get the legislation passed. They include people like David Belatsky from Uncommon Goods and Alyssa Miller out from Singlebrook Technologies and so many others that I won't list. But these are the people who are the heroes that are leading this movement, and it's a movement that's coming to New York. Just before I introduce Mike Brady from Grayston Bakery, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year of doing business up in Yonkers, I wanted to give one other entrepreneur 1 minute to just say a couple of words, and that's Charlotte Radamakers from Call to Action. Call to Action is a company actually that is based in Delaware. They're a Delaware C corporation, and they are reincorporating from Delaware into New York because New York facilitates their way of doing business. And I think it's an incredibly important and powerful statement that they're doing that. And so I thought she could just say one word before I also introduce Mike Brady from Grayston.
Thank you. Good morning. As you were saying, when I first set up Call to Action, I was counseled to incorporate in Delaware, as most New York companies are. However, when I learned about B Corporation and the fact that I could do it here but not there, we decided to bring the company home back to New York. I do believe that the recognition and development of responsible business is the most crucial evolution of our time. And that's why I'm thrilled to finally make it official, to become Benefit Corporation, and officially today have the recognition of the New York state law. Very exciting. But being a B Corp means far more to me than simply just a legal classification. Since becoming a B Corp last year, I have found a tight-knit community of mission-aligned companies who hold themselves to the highest standards for their environmental and social impact, their employees, and their business disciplines. That's why we're working with Elisa from Singlebrook, who you mentioned, building marketing and advocacy tools that are being used for B-Lab to spark this movement and to help create this momentum. So you see, B corporations make for great partners and good business. and together we help each other do better in the business of doing good. Thanks.
Just finally, before I introduce Mike, I also wanted to thank the Secretary of State. It's a pretty amazing opportunity to have the Secretary of State actually come here to accept the papers from all of you registering benefit corps, and so it's an honor, and I really appreciate your being here as well as the support of the governor in passing this legislation. So with that, I really want to hand it over to Mike Brady, who runs Grayston Bakery. They are one of the true heroes of this movement. For 30 years, they've been doing business as if people matter, and they were B Corps long before we had a name for it. And so, Mike, I wanted to say a few words.